This is the best sounding shallow mount subwoofer I have ever tried. I'm completely blown away by this thing. And on top of that, it's one of the sharpest boxes I have ever built. Check out those cool corner accents. I'm going to show you how to make those right now. But before I do that, I want to talk about this great sounding subwoofer. This is a shallow mount subwoofer from Prodigy. There's a backstory behind this. I originally built a ported downfiring enclosure and I wasn't happy with the performance, so this is a do-over. Later on in the video, we're going to talk about why the sealed version of the enclosure worked out so much better than the ported version. Those corner pieces were 3D printed using silk filament from Bambu Lab. I'll be sure to give you a link to the filament down in the video description, plus a link to the file in case you want to print your own. Check out this shiny silk filament. This stuff is immaculate. The box itself has already been assembled. I'll be sure to give you a link to the assembly video down below this video. So we're jumping right into the finishing process, and before you start doing any finishing, it's a good idea to grab some sandpaper and sand everything nice and smooth. And I like to hit the speaker recess with some black spray paint. This is a roll-on textured coating that's going on the bottom of this downfiring enclosure. The rest of the boxes are going to be covered in carpet. Before sticking on the carpet, I'm going to put a round over on the top of the enclosure. That round over is going to stop about 7 inches from the ends of the box because those decorative corner pieces are about 7 inches long. To stick the carpet to the subwoofer box, I'm using this stuff right here. I've got a love-hate relationship with this stuff. It's supposed to be the best stuff to use, and I use it when I can. I don't use enough of it to justify buying the big can. Oftentimes a can will go bad before I can use it all. I had the same problem with this sprayer. People who work in shops oftentimes don't clean the sprayer between applications because they use it every day. I might use it once a month and the adhesive is gonna gum up. You can see on some of these shots, I'm not getting a good even spray, I'm getting big glops. After spraying both sides and giving it time to tack up, I'm going to start sticking the carpet to the enclosure. In order to get those two sides to bond, you've got to press them together. And I like to use the weight of the subwoofer box to do that. It's heavy enough to get a good bond. The hardest part of carpeting a subwoofer box is the corners, which is the reason why I made these. This is a prototype that I made out of some green PLA filament. This really isn't much of a corner protector because the wood the box is made out of is stronger than this plastic. It's really more of a decorative element. It's going to cover up those ugly corners and add a colorful accent to your box. Off camera, I threaded in some terminals. I'll be sure to give you a link to those down in the video description. And I went ahead and pre-drilled some pilot holes here. This is MDF. If you just drive screws in MDF, you're gonna split the MDF. Now the tricky part is I gotta reach in here to run the wire to these things. So this is ugly, and I made it ugly kind of on purpose. I'm going to replace that ugly seam with this beautiful silk PLA that I printed on my Bambu Lab printer. That turned out amazing, 1,000 times better than I expected. That silk PLA is just exquisite. There are two things I would do different. I wouldn't put 3 screw holes on each side. I would do 2, that's more than enough. And I would have staggered those screw holes a little bit so the screws wouldn't hit each other inside the box. looks aren't everything. Let's see how it sounds. I mentioned earlier in the video this was a redo for this subwoofer. I originally tried to build a shallow downfiring ported enclosure. What I have learned from this experience is that some subwoofers, you just don't want to do a ported enclosure. It has to do with the application. You use a shallow subwoofer because you don't have a lot of space. And if you don't have a lot of space, the extra space you need for a ported enclosure kind of negates the point of a shallow subwoofer. As a general rule, a ported enclosure needs to be bigger than a sealed enclosure, plus you have to have room for the port. The mistake I made with the prior build, I made the port opening too small and the enclosure chuffed like mad. So even though I could in theory get more output from a ported enclosure, in a situation where you're trying to squeeze a subwoofer into a small space, a ported enclosure just might not be worth the trouble. Playing music over YouTube never really conveys how it actually sounds. The best way to really understand how it sounds is to run a sweep, which is what I've done here. I use Room EQ Wizard from my PC, HDMI out into my head unit, and then used a UMIC 1 measurement mic. At 20 Hertz, we're at 97.9, so 98 dB. And over here at about 60 Hertz, we're at about 101.7 dB, and that is remarkably flat. The subwoofer, of course, is going to benefit from cabin gain. When I ran these sweeps, I had the subwoofer pointed down in its downfiring position. I'm absolutely shocked by the low frequency performance. I didn't start seeing meaningful roll off until below 10 Hertz. When I first hooked this thing up, I was stunned at the performance of this Shallow Mount 12. This brand is mostly unknown. It is a real sleeper. If you're looking for a really good downfiring 12, I wouldn't hesitate to get this one. If you want to see the enclosure build, click this video right over here. Before I go, I want to say thank you to all of my patrons, with a bonus shout out to $25 and up patrons Joe and Bo. I'm Justin. This is the DIY Audio Guy YouTube channel, and I will see you on the next adventure.